Hey everyone. So, I'm learning something called DBT. What is DBT? It is like dialectic behavioral cognitive therapy. It's a 10-week class in which we learn different skills for managing emotions and for managing anxiety and depression and mental disorders. And I think I'm about halfway through, so it's been really helpful for me in learning how to communicate with people in a way which I listen to them, I validate what they say, and then I speak my opinion or how I feel or how I perceive things. And the beauty of DBT is that there's is that there can be conflict and there can be contradiction, yet there can be communication which does not isolate or make someone right or wrong. So I'm still learning. I'm still learning the DBT skills. I have a little workbook I use. Each week is like a different theme. And so, the first week we learned about the validation of other people. We learned about self-validation, validation strategies, and we learned about different states of mind, like the reasonable mind, the emotional mind, the wise mind, and then, practicing the wise mind. So a lot of DBT is based in mindfulness. Like one of the tools is to kind of observe your thoughts and then to describe them. Another skill is to participate, which means you practice something daily in which you're completely immersed in doing that activity. For me, I usually play guitar, or read, or do yoga, or martial arts. So they gave us so many different tools to use. Like they gave us diary cards, so each day we could write down our level of anxiety, our level of depression, and anything else that's affecting us during the day. So we also learned about the non-judgmental stance, where things don't have to be put into right or wrong categories. This is something that I really have struggled with, is interacting with people in conflictual situations and how to talk to people in a very logical way rather than your emotions taking over and your anxiety or whatever. So there's mindfulness skills you could do every day. You could do mindful walking, mindful eating, mindful driving. Going back to the wise mind is, in my opinion, like the parent the parental mind, who looks over the reasonable and emotional mind. And I learned a lot about using my reasonable mind, because I tend to think very emotionally at times, and the emotions just completely take over. Like if I'm angry, the anger just completely takes over. So, it's dialectical behavioral therapy. It's a treatment for persistent emotional and behavioral difficulties. I believe everyone should be taking DBT. It should be free in our society for all avenues of work. Because I see it in myself, how much I need this DBT. I see it in other people, like how ignorant we are of this life skill. So dialectic is the art of holding things in balance that seem to be in conflict, mismatched or contrary, while being real or true. Dialectics can be paradoxical or ironic. Competing needs qualify as dialectics. So for me, it's also asking for help, you know. So it means that two ideas can both be true at the same time. And this is really good news for me, especially dealing with coworkers that are hard to deal with, bosses that are hard to deal with, bosses that are and employees that are very much in their emotional mind. Honestly, if the workplace could educate people on DBT, it would really be a win-win situation. So, two things that seem like they're opposites can both be true. All people have something unique, different, and worthy to teach us. A life worth living has both comfortable and uncomfortable aspects. And one of the teachings is that you are doing the best you can, and you can do better. So being dialectical means letting go of self-righteous personalities or indignation, letting go of black and white thinking, and finding ways to validate the other person's point of view. So validation is telling someone what they feel, what they think, believe, and experience is real, logical, and understandable. Self-validation is when you are able to quietly reassure yourself that what you feel inside is real, is important, and makes sense. So we're learning to validate others because it helps our relationships go better by letting the people we talk to know we value their thoughts, feelings, and opinions. And self-validating helps to build up your confidence and allows us to feel that our thoughts, feelings, and opinions are worthwhile. So validation is not necessarily agreeing with the other person. It's finding the kernel of truth in that person's perspective, verifying the facts, and it helps for me to do this video so I could learn the validation process and the DBT process and the tools. So why validate? It improves our relationships by showing we are listening and understand. It improves interpersonal relationships by reducing the pressure to prove who is right, by reducing negative reactions and reducing anger, which is something that I always wondered, how the hell do I deal with this? And here it is. And also, it's important to remember that validation doesn't mean that you like it. It's not necessarily agreeing. So it's just that every invalid response makes sense in some way. So, you could still focus on the worth of that person and still disagree. You could still be non-judgmental. I'm the kind of person who's afraid to ask for help, so an important question for myself is, what do I need right now? So, that's just a little introduction to DBT. I hope this video is helpful, as it will be very helpful for me. I will make a second video about this topic, so thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.